Hey, what's up guys? John Levitrus. Hope you're having a great day today. And we are starting a new series with Peru and the World War III map, ×4 speed. Glad to be back guys and have a new series started with you. This has come to a request from some of you guys. Wasn't able to find Canada, but Peru was available. So we're going to start off with a whole new series with this nation. It's going to be a great journey. Can't wait to show you guys the playthrough for this country. So let's get straight into it. Let's see what is going on with the Peruvian nation. What's going on with the military, economy. This is the day one setup that I have. You guys may have different strategies, completely okay. But I will show you what I have been doing so far for the day one, day two setup. And we're to see what's going to happen. So let's look into the cities and I want to show you what I have for my economy. So starting up here in one of my most northern cities, I just have Army Base 1. And recruiting offices. I have that for most of my nations. If not a recruiting office, I have the arms industry building depending on the resource that I have. So you can see here, Army Base 1, arms industry there. And then this is your capital. So of course you're going to start off with the level 1 air base and level 1 harbor. But I have the army base and the recruiting office, level 1 there. And then I have the arms industry being built. And then these are the last two cities. You see here what I have built. And then for this last city here in Cusco, I have Army Base 1 and Arms Industry building up. So my recommendation for my playstyle, you guys may have different things that you like to do, but I always put army bases in every single city that I have as my base. It only takes like a minute to build in ×4 speed. And then I start putting recruiting offices scattered out throughout because you need to get this manpower up. Keep that up so you can keep producing more units and build things as well. And then along with the recruiting office, then you want to do your arms industries to get your resources production higher. And what I do for that is I look at my production values starting off in the game and seeing which ones are the weakest. So obviously you can see my components is weak as well as my rare materials. So I focused on building my arms industry there for my rare materials, and then this city on the coast as well. And then you saw before I had some others dotted in depending on what I thought was best. So main advice is focus on your cities that have the lowest amount of resources and put your arms industries there first so you can get everything up to speed for your production. Research, my recommendation is always to do your motorized infantry straight away. Again, this only takes a minute. It's the cheapest thing. Just get that done, get it done so you can have something. Or you can do the National Guard as well, which is a much cheaper option. You can mass produce the National Guards. So depending on your situation, it's good to do National Guards. I did those for my Greece playthrough World War Z and they worked great. For this playthrough, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I never played with Peru before, so this will be all new for me and it'll be very exciting. Other than the motorized infantry, in terms of research, one of my things I like to do is I like to do the mobile anti-air vehicle, the first one. It has some good values for you. You can attack infantry, a little bit of attack on armored, but most importantly, of course, is the anti-air. And I like to have that researched because people like to scout you out early in the game. You get those aggressive players that like to do some flyovers. And I like just to have those available to me so I can shoot down their planes if they're getting a little dicey for me, and I can just take them out. And I like to have air superiority over my own nation, of course. I mean, who doesn't? That's something that I like to do. Next thing I might do is maybe artillery or the combat recon vehicle. And then of course I like to do the air superiority fighter because I like to get air superiority. Now given that I'm on the coast, I'm obviously going to need some kind of navy as well. So corvettes and destroyers might come into play eventually, but not for now. I'm just going to focus on building up infantry, mobilizing them in my cities. As you can see here in this city down here, I got a little bit there and here as well. And then you can see in this red area, I'm obviously at war with Ecuador. This is always an AI nation and it's got one city, so I'm going to go straight to it and take that components, which works out for me because I'm lower on components. So I just immediately sent my troops who are here straight there, and then a backup one as well. Already at war with Ecuador. I will have this city soon, hopefully, and then I also have to go over out here in the ocean in the islands and take this island, which is nice because it has rare materials and you can only do local industries there. So I might do that. I might have to, because I'm surrounded by a large coalition in South America and Latin America. I'll get to that soon. But first I want to talk about strategy and see what we're going to do with Peruvian Empire. So looking outwards, you want to use your geography to your advantage and see how you can play the best for you, and also be mindful of what is AI and what's not. So far, Colombia has a player. At first it was AI and I wasn't really worried, but now there's a player. Bolivia has a player, and so does Chile. And then I knew that Brazil always does. There's always someone there no matter what. So I have borders on all sides of my nation. So I'm going to have to be very mindful that people could come in at any moment from these different places, given there's some jungle terrain here, and that can help you a little bit. So if you look at your motorized infantry, you can see what kind of values they have in the jungles, and really it's all about the speed. The speed goes down a bit here. You can see it's 1/3 of the speed that they usually have. Hit points will always stay the same, but it's the attack that will suffer. So if someone is attacking me in the jungles, say in these areas here, it would work to my advantage to defend and let them come to me than to attack them. So for instance, Brazil, let me turn on the roads here so you can see all the different roads. He could attack from this province here in many different directions, but it's all jungle. Some of it is woods, of course, but I have to be mindful of this border with him. And then Bolivia, it's more mountainous terrain, so I would look there, and Chile coming through. Then you have Colombia. So I think I'm going to be a little more defensive starting out. I've been scouting out these guys, and they're a little higher level, so you don't want to mess around with guys who are higher level. You want to maybe a little more conservative, maybe send them a chat for diplomacy, or team up with them in a coalition, of course. So speaking of coalitions, let's look at the coalitions, and I really want to dial into the South American coalition. You can see South America here. Venezuela is the leader. They have 4 team members, and those team members are Mexico, Cuba, Venezuela. Then you have Angola all the way in Africa, which is a little bit of an oddball. So I do have to be mindful of these guys here, especially Venezuela, who's in my country. But Colombia, Brazil, and Chile and Bolivia have not joined them. So that means there's a little bit of an opportunity for me to maybe create a coalition to have them join. I've already sent a message to Brazil. I saw that he's a little higher level, so I asked him if he wanted to team up on a coalition. No response yet. This game just started. Sometimes you'll get responses, and yeah, it could work out. Other times you'll get guys who are a little more sneaky, and they will, but then they may backstab you. Or you get guys that say nothing at all, and they just go full bore into your country. So you got to be mindful of who you're talking to. Take the time to do your precautions for defenses, just in case you might get backstabbed. It's happened to me many times, and you have to be very careful. So far, that is the setup, guys, for day 1. Very simple. I would say it's pretty elementary, but it's foundational that you do these things, that you have the army bases, you have the arms industries, and your recruiting offices. That is the foundation you want. Have the motorized infantry research right away, and then from there, it really goes from your playstyle. If you want armored support, helicopters, fighters, you know, all those kind of things. You can go into Navy. For me, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I think I might try to do a balance of things, but not too much. You don't want to spread yourself too thin with all of these things that you can research. So looking forward to the next video, guys, with you. Hopefully in the next one, we will have all of Ecuador conquered, and then we will see what's going to happen. I might be at war with any of these nations or all of them. Maybe I may go in and sneak into Panama and take that while no one's doing anything. We will see, guys, and glad to be back with this new video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll see you later.